All right, okay, deep breaths. If you're hearing this, you're still alive. That's what matters. This is Tar Heel Transmission, broadcasting from somewhere in the Smoky Mountains. I don't have long, batteries fading, and those things are closing in. But if you're out there, hiding in a basement, or driving through the night with your lights off, listen close. I'll tell you how hell opened its jaws right here in North Carolina. It started with hope. Always does, doesn't it? That biotech firm in Piedmont, Prometheus Labs, promised a malaria cure, a miracle for the tropics. Instead, they cooked up the end of the world 3 weeks ago, patient 0, a lab tech named Mara Chen. Fever spiked to 106. Her skin split like rotten fruit. Then she bit Dr. Raymond Keller's throat out in the elevator. By sundown, downtown Raleigh was a slaughterhouse. I was there, trapped in my car on Glenwood Avenue when the screaming started. Saw a woman sprinting from a coffee shop, eyes wild. A man in a business suit tackled her. Didn't rob her, just ripped. Tore her stomach open with his teeth. Blood sprayed the sidewalk like someone kicked over a paint can. Then he looked up, eyes black as oil pits. That's when I floored it. These aren't movie zombies. They're fast, twitchy, and smart enough to turn doorknobs. The cure rewired their brains, left the hunger, stripped the pain. They don't stagger, they hunt. Global news collapsed fast. CDC broadcasts cut to static. Cell towers went dark. But I scavenged a police radio, heard a transmission from Charlotte. National Guard overrun at Bank of America Stadium. They're using fire axes too. Gunfire. Then silence. Survival's ugly. Met a group holed up in a Durham parking garage. Sarah, a nurse, her husband Marcus, and their kid Jake. Sarah patched up my arm after a close call with one of those things in a Wendy's. We thought we were safe. We weren't. Last night they found us. Must have smelled Jake's fever. Kid had an infection. Came through the stairwell like a tidal wave of rotting meat. 30, 50, doesn't matter. Marcus shoved Jake into my arms. "Run!" he yelled. Sarah stayed too. Bought us 10 seconds with a tire iron and a Molotov. Heard her screaming as I sprinted to the roof. "Jake, look away, baby." Then wet, tearing sounds. Jake cried the whole damn night. I didn't. Too busy sharpening a pipe wrench. The world's dying fast. Heard snippets on a ham radio. Outbreaks in Lagos, Berlin, Mumbai, all traced back to Prometheus shipments. But here's the twist. The engineers who made this plague, they're alive. Running. Rumor says they've got data, a reversal, a real cure. Heard it from a trucker near Greensboro before his signal died. Saw him near Pilot Mountain. White lab coats, 2 men, 1 woman, crawling through a drainage pipe while those freaks tore their convoy apart. I'm heading west now. Jake's asleep in the passenger seat, wrapped in a bloody blanket. We're low on gas, lower on hope, and the woods? They're singing, not birds, moans. They're close. If you're near the Blue Ridge Parkway, avoid Asheville. City's a nest. Saw a horde drag a family from an RV near Folk Art Center, ripped the parents apart while the kids hid under the chassis. Didn't end well. Gotta move. Batteries at 5%, but remember this. The engineers are out there. Maybe they're saints. Maybe they're cowards. But they're the only shot we've got. I'll find them. Or die trying. Tar Heel Transmission. Still broadcasting. Barely. Batteries fading faster than hope. They're outside. I can hear them scratching at the metal door of this old ranger station tucked high in the Smokies. Jake didn't make it. I'll get to that. God, I have to get to that. We pushed hard for Pilot Mountain after the garage. The trucker's tip was our only lifeline. Find the engineers. Find the cure. Save Jake. The roads west were rivers of wreckage and rotting things. Abandoned military checkpoints choked with corpses. Soldiers and civilians tangled in final, desperate embraces. Saw a school bus tipped on its side near Statesville. Tiny handprints smeared in blood on the shattered back window. Didn't stop. Couldn't. We ditched the car near Mount Airy when the gas ran dry. Had to move on foot through the woods. Jake was fading. The infection in his leg from the garage bite. It was turning bad. Fever spiking. Skin gray. He stumbled more than walked. I carried him the last mile towards the coordinates the trucker mumbled. An old weather station nestled below Pilot Mountain's sheer cliffs. That's where we saw them. 3 figures, lab coats stained brown with mud and worse. Huddled near a busted satellite dish. 2 men, 1 woman, the engineers, alive. Relief hit me like a physical blow. We were close. Salvation was right there. I broke cover, waving Jake's little hand. Hey, over here, we need help. Mistake. Monumental mistake. Their heads snapped up. Not relief in their eyes. Terror. Raw, animal terror. One of the men, the older one with glasses cracked down the middle, pointed behind me. His mouth opened in a silent scream. I turned. They came boiling out of the tree line. Not a scattered pack, a horde. Drawn by our movement, our scent, maybe Jake's fever, 50, 100. Sprinting, not shambling. Sprinting like Olympic runners fueled by pure, ravenous hate. Twisted faces, jaws unhinged, clothes hanging in tatters, slick with gore. The speed. Christ, the speed still chills my blood. I grabbed Jake, tried to run towards the engineers, towards the station. Maybe we could barricade. Maybe. The engineers scrambled backwards. The woman tripped, fell. One of the men yanked her up. They didn't look back, not once. They bolted for a rusty maintenance shed tucked against the cliff face. Slammed the door. I heard the heavy clunk of a bolt sliding home. Locked us out. Locked Jake out. The horde hit us like a freight train. I went down hard. Jake ripped from my arms. He screamed. A high, piercing sound that cut through the guttural snarls. I saw him for just a second, tiny and terrified on the ground, eyes wide, looking at me. Then they were on him. A swarm of teeth and clawing hands. It wasn't quick. It wasn't clean. They tore. Like wild dogs on a rabbit. The sounds. The wet, ripping sounds. I'll hear them until my last breath. Something snapped inside me. Not fear, rage, pure incandescent rage. At the engineers, at the monsters, at the world. I had a hatchet. Just a damn camping hatchet. I swung. I didn't aim. I just destroyed. Buried the blade in skulls, necks, shoulders. Felt bone crunch. Hot, foul blood sprayed my face. I roared. Became an animal myself. Kicked, bit, gouged eyes. Felt claws rake my back, teeth sink into my shoulder. Didn't care. Jake was gone. Everything was gone. I fought through the press of rotting bodies, a whirlwind of desperate, brutal violence. Somehow I broke through, stumbled backwards, covered in blood, theirs, mine, Jake's, towards the cliff face. The shed door opened a crack, just an inch. The woman's eye peered out, cold, calculating. "The data," she hissed. "Did you bring it? The backup drive?" I stared. Jake's blood was drying on my hands. They were asking about Data? He's dead, I choked out, spitting blood. Your cure killed him. You locked him out. The older engineer shoved his face next to hers. Irrelevant. The reversal sequence is on the drive. Did you retrieve it from the convoy wreck? Retrieve it? They sent people out? Sacrifices for their precious Data? The rage boiled over. Go to hell, I screamed. I hurled a rock at the door. It clanged harmlessly. The eye narrowed. Then, you're useless. The bolt slid shut again. Final. I was trapped. The horde, momentarily stunned by my berserk rage, was regrouping. More were pouring from the trees. Below the cliff was a sheer drop. No escape, except a narrow, crumbling ledge snaked sideways along the rock face. Towards the radio mast. Towards the station. No choice. I ran. Clawed my way along that ledge. Fingers bleeding. The moans of the hungry dead echoing off the stone behind me. One slip, but I didn't slip. I made it. Barricaded the door. Found this old emergency broadcast set. And now the scratching is turning into pounding. They know I'm here. The door won't hold long. But I caught a transmission before I barricaded in. Faint, crackling, not local. North Dakota, some place called the Oil Patch. A frantic voice, barely coherent. Prometheus evac team arrived by air, brought the curse. Whole damn back in oil fields burning. We're seeing that they're faster here. Smarter. God, they're climbing the rigs. They're static. Then a new voice, cold, clinical, cutting through the interference. A voice I recognized from desperate pleas at a locked shed door. Containment failed. Initiate Project Scorch. Salt the earth. Dakota first, then everywhere. The engineers, they escaped. They flew out, and they took hell with them. North Dakota's burning, and they're planning to burn it all to salt the earth. To kill everything to stop what they started. The pounding is getting louder. Metal groaning. This is it. Tar Heel Transmission, signing off. If you're out there, if you hear this, the engineers are the key. Not to salvation, to annihilation. They're heading to burn the world. Stop them. Please, stop them. Don't let it all be for